Bless me, Ninja Goddess, for I have sinned. It's been about, over 4 weeks, 5 weeks since my last episode. And I just kind of been a little bit. Oh, hi. Hey guys, Shadow Warrior Collectors, I'm back. Let's start off with the show, shall we? Good evening, Shadow Warrior Collectors, and welcome back to another episode of That Ninja Show. Shinobi One here. It's been a minute and then some since I've been on here, and I sincerely apologize to you all for my absence. Lots been going on. Dealing with medical issues on my own home front end. One of my good friends, who I consider like family, he's in the hospital and on the mend right now as well. So lots been going on. Plus, got some news that the condo that I'm renting here is being put up on the market. So it's going to be sold out from under me. So eventually I'm going to have to pack up That Ninja Show Studios and find a new locale to hang my swords at and my shuriken and for me and the kiddos. So when it rains it pours. I get some bad karma and it comes in one big wave. So it is what it is. Just a matter of kind of rolling with the punches and keep moving forward. That's all I can do. So yeah, there may be a little bit of off time when the move actually does happen. In the meantime, I'm going to be trying to get some expenses covered or for moving. Try and raise some funds. Might sell some collectibles. People want to try and contribute to my moving expenses, then let me know. It's greatly appreciated, but it's not a necessity. So anyway, I do want to still do a video. I did have a retrospect that I recorded that came out pretty damn good for House of Ninja, and but I had a lot of bad karma happening with it, where editing was giving me some issues and so on and so forth. And then there was one point where, like, even the subtitles weren't showing up. So I was like, crap, man, what is going on? Finally, I got it all together. I got it uploaded, and then YouTube said, no go. Netflix would put the ban hammer on me if I went forward with it. I thought I'd edit out enough stuff to where it wouldn't be a full episode, but they were like, oh, there needs to be some cuts. And all the cuts were just about every single bit of video footage that I put in there. So it's still saved. Maybe I'll do a Patreon channel where y'all can watch that if y'all want to, if there's interest in that. Otherwise, for right now, it's just going to be put in the archives. So, but tonight's episode is just going to be mostly newsworthy stuff and kind of catching up and discussing some things. I will probably just, since I did put together a pretty decent write-up for House of Ninja, I'm just going to kind of give a summary of what I touched on for that episode, and then if it interests y'all and y'all express some interest in wanting to see it, like I said, I may put it up on a Patreon channel, or maybe we can host a Zoom chat and watch it together, and y'all can let me know y'all's thoughts. Anyway, so without further ado, we're going to go into the next segment, is news. Here we go. Alright, so starting off with the news segment, some of y'all may know this happening, some of you may not know, but the Revenge of the Ninja Cho Osaki home that was in the beginning of Revenge of the Ninja, which was once owned by Shirley Temple, is on the market in California for about $3.3 million. Man, that would be an item to have. Maybe it's in the cards for me to play the lottery, and since I'm being forced to move from here, play the lottery and hopefully it goes in my favor and I end up buying the house. If I was to have that house, yeah. Me and a few close friends of mine talked about it. We're all kind of jumping to the same conclusion that we would all convert it into like a museum dedicated to Hollywood ninja movies. I would definitely have, ninja movie nights. I would have like celebrations there to honor some of the anniversaries of some of these movies. Invite, people like Sam Furstenberg and Lucinda there to hang out and such, and that would be kind of cool. Even reenact like the opening scene of Revenge of the Ninja, that would be awesome. I always joke with everybody, said I would probably be the red sash ninja that hangs from the rooftop there and gets stabbed real quick by Sho. So, yeah, that would be kind of cool to have. And it's something that I always find kind of interesting, is that how in the early 70s and 80s, well, even prior to that, there was not a lot of regard placed for the costumes and the props of movies. I watched a documentary on Carrie Fisher and Debbie Reynolds called Bright Lights, where Carrie Fisher of Princess Leia fame and her mother, Debbie Reynolds, they always had a unique relationship over their years. But Debbie, aside from being a famous actress and singer and so forth, she was known for having an extensive collection of costumes and movie props from the movies that either she was in or that were pretty poignant in movie history. She owned the ruby slippers from Wizard of Oz. She owned Dorothy's outfit from Wizard of Oz. She owned Marilyn Monroe's dress from I think it was the dress where she stood over the airway that blew up her skirt. She had all the suits from the Rat Pack. And during that time when she had all these costumes and prop pieces, she even had some stuff from Cleopatra that was starred by Liz Taylor, and Liz Taylor stole her husband away from Debbie Reynolds. She still even had stuff from her movies and a lot of posters as well. And during the time of her living, she always had people that would approach her, that would invest in her, that wanted to help her open this museum dedicated to costumes and movie props, and nothing ever came of it. And it finally came down to a time where she needed to sell her stuff in auction, and because she had no way of maintaining those things. And so it was pretty sad to see her having to get rid of all that stuff, and for it now to be in the hands of private collectors that it will never see the light of day of probably being on display, to the public ever again. We see that a lot with a lot of the movies that we grew up with now too, in our generation. There was no regard for Star Wars movie props and costumes when those movies came out, because at the time, movies were just kind of like, hey, it's something we put together and then it's abandoned. It's kind of like what Sam pointed out in the 80s, where these ninja movies were done, and once they were done, it was just kind of like, all right, the hell with it. Everything that came with it was either taken home by people on the set or sold, and it was, talked about, like the costumes from Ninja 3. There was a lot of them that were made, but not a lot of them made it, to be available for someone to get a hold of them and mass produce them or what have you. There's very few collectors that have them. Sho Kosugi, I asked him a question about the Master, and if he was able to keep his iconic costume of Okasa, and he wasn't. The weapons he had made and brought to the set, a lot of those weapons he took home with him. But the costume, that, to me, even though it's a simple costume, I mean, you've got, the coif, you got the bracers on the arms and the bracers on the legs, and then the rest of it's just a, standard shinobi shozuku, or the ones that he wore. But he had to turn that in back to NBC. So whether NBC still has them, or they ended up in the hands of a private collector, or they ended up getting thrown away, because a lot of times props and costumes were also just discarded. I've been a member of the Replica Props Forum, which has been a forum dedicated to research and trying to recreate some of these props, or finding the original ones. And one of the things that we saw in the earlier years of us being members of that forum was, we had guys that would do dumpster diving in the back of movie prop houses to find something, anything. There was a gentleman that posted some pictures. Some of you may be familiar with the movie The Black Hole, Disney's sci-fi answer to Star Wars, before they took over Star Wars and ruined the crap out of it. But that movie had these sentries, these robots that were the guards there of the evil ship, and one in particular was named Star. And what made him stand out from the other sentries was he was all in black, and he had a medal on his chest. Well, there was a gentleman that posted some pictures on the Replica Props forum that he, in a dumpster, in a box, he found Star's head, complete. And yeah, that was one of those gasp moments where it's like, holy hell, you found something that was kind of like a bucket list item for a lot of people. For me, Star Wars was always two things: Luke Skywalker's lightsaber, which was a Graflex flash handle off of a camera, and then the Sand Trooper armor, which were the desert troopers on Tatooine. And eventually there was a gentleman whose uncle got a set of Sand Trooper armor, and he ended up digging it up as a kid, playing with it, painting it, and then he eventually ended up on the Replica Props forum many, many years later to say, I think I got something here that you guys may be interested in. And yeah, all the wind, if you could try and describe it, all the wind got sucked out of the forum when we realized what this guy had. And that was Simon, who eventually teamed up with a gentleman by the name of Rob, and they started a company in England called RS Prop Masters. So it's crazy to see like a lot of these props and costumes early on in movies and TV were just, even though they were iconic, were just kind of discarded and forgotten. And a lot of that happened with some of these things and in our movies. So I think it would be kind of cool if someone would keep that house the way it was. I saw pictures of it, and it looks like it still looks like the way it did from over 40 years ago. So there's a pretty good chance that it still, could be something for Ninja movie fans. Anyway, there will be a link posted in the comments section for you to go check it out. It's on Zillow. I believe it's in a pending status right now, so I don't know if someone's considering buying it, and hopefully they preserve it the way it was and not turn it into something modern or turn it into a stupid little, Airbnb or some crap. So anyway, link will be in the comments. But with that, let's go on to the next segment. Welcome back, folks. All right, so next I wanted to touch on the Republic of Ninja's web store is back online and ready to fulfill orders. I did not know that they were offline for a bit. I saw some mentions of it, but I had been meaning to get some stuff ordered for future giveaways and then also for friends, but I never really got around to it. But now that I did, and now I see that they do have the store back up and running. I wanted to kind of spread the word. If you are looking for some unique collectibles of the one and only Sho Kosugi himself, make your way over there and place your orders. They do have some new shirts available as well. There is one of Sho as Okasa from the Master. It has really caught my interest, and hope to be making a purchase pretty soon. Got a couple of things that I want to get for, like I said, for upcoming giveaways, for a couple of friends, maybe also to plan ahead for some Christmas gifts. So, Republic of Ninja's website. Make your way over there. Do it. On to the next thing. Alright, folks. So, since I was planning on doing, like I said, a retrospect today, I'm switching gears. I'm just kind of doing some news, kind of catching up with you guys and gals out there, because it has been a while since I've been on here. Again, totally apologize. But things are starting to get back on track. A little bit of bad karma here and there, but it is what it is. You got to work through it. But for right now, I know I've talked about this before, but I want to talk about it again. And that is, I wanted to touch base and take some time to promote a Facebook page that I'm a member and a moderator of, the Hollywood Ninja Movie Group on Facebook. We're currently at over 11,000 members, and we continue to grow. We do have to kind of fish through some of the savory characters, or the questionable ones that are usually trying to sell us bootleg t-shirts or post half-naked, scary-looking women, which is what they did to the official Sho Kosugi, or the Sho Kosugi fan page that was on Facebook. That one's been overrun by all sorts of spam crap. So myself and Frank have tried to keep a tight ship, try and make sure that we do have legitimate members on there that are sharing resources and that are meeting up with other, ninja fans and not doing, too much crazy stuff. So, plus it's for those of you that collect. And there are some amazing collections on there that some of our members share photos and videos of. And also they may have resources to share on where to still obtain some of these rare items if you're looking for something. But yeah, we're always looking to reach out to, other fans of these movies. And we welcome you to join us to either share some stories of your collection along with some pictures and videos, or some of your early experiences growing up with these movies. That's one of the things that I want to do with this channel too, is, you know, continue to reach out to you, hang out, and hopefully sit down with you guys. I want to start doing the Zoom calls, maybe do a group Zoom call, maybe watch a movie together, kind of talk about it, have some fun, you know, maybe start planning that in the future here and record some of it so people can see that, you know, that it'd be good to meet up with other people and hang out and have some laughs. So, link to the Facebook page will also be in the comments. Make sure you join. If anything, you know, put a note in there saying that I sent you or that Ninja Show sent me. You know, so if I see you on there, I'll add you on there and we'll go from there. So, anyway, on to the next thing. And welcome back, folks. So, again, this episode was initially intended on me starting a retrospect on the House of Ninja. But like I said, I should have known that the Ninja movie gods were against it, with me having those technical issues, trying to get it edited, and yeah, it took me almost the entire day to try and figure out all these editing issues that I was running into. When I finally got everything blended together perfectly, I uploaded the video, I started watching it, I was looking at the counter to see, you know, if people were out, there were other views on there. I saw view number 2 hit, and then I saw one of those little circles with the red line going through it. The whole, you know, Gandalf, you shall not pass crap. And then I click on it, and they're like, oh, your video has been blocked. So, yeah. That really kind of, I was like, damn, man, I spent the entire freaking day of putting this together, and that just took the wind out of my sails last night. So I was pretty pissed. But then I was just like, all right, it is what it is. You know, I see other people that upload, you know, their reactions to Squid Game. So I was just kind of miffed that this one, you know, it's kind of on the smaller scale. Hasn't been a lot of promos for it. You know, I really feel like this series is getting kind of the bad end of the stick, because we didn't see a whole lot of promotions for it. You know, it was just like, oh, February, you know, here's a trailer for it, and then it was coming out like later on that month or the following month, and it was just like, damn, barely any notice. You know, and it's a good series. I think it is a really good series. So I am gonna have to push and let you guys and gals know that if you want to check it out, if you haven't checked it out, you're going to probably have to go on Netflix to watch it. My retrospect, even though it cut some scenes out, like I said, they sent me a thing back saying, no go, you got to remove these pieces, which was pretty much every single video bit that I was using to do my retrospect on. So, back to the drawing board for that. So for now, tonight, for the rest of this episode, I'm going to just go over my summary, a little brief summary that's just me talking. We'll also get back to finishing up the master. We got a few more episodes to do of that. Then we'll start getting into some of our favorite ninja movies, provided I don't get a ban hammer for that crap. Now, for those that haven't seen House of Ninja, get out there and see it. Go on Netflix, like it. So then that way it does get, you know, some feedback, and hopefully Netflix will want more episodes and more seasons from this series, because I really thought it was a good series in watching it. It did have some points in the story where it kind of flattened out, but there were some good moments in the series that I was just like, oh yeah, okay. You know, I liked it. And so for those who haven't seen it, if you don't want spoilers, now's your time to cut out the video and go on with the rest of your day. If you want to hear a little bit about it, stick around, pull up a chair, grab your favorite drink and snack. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll be going forward with some other things in the future here. Now, this show tells the story of the Tawara family, who are descendants of the great Hattori Hanzo. And it does get into some of the history of Hanzo and his battles with the Fuma clan from many, many years ago. Now, one of the main actors, Kento Kaku, he plays Haru, who is the middle son of the Tawara family. And I found out in an interview that he's the co-executive producer of the series. So he was fully engaged in making this series come to life. So good on him, man. I mean, he did a really good job. And I got to see it behind the scenes, which is here on YouTube. They didn't block that. No, I'm not mad. Just a little bit. Anyway. In the interview with Kento, he talks about a couple of things that stuck out with me and that we do see in the series, especially in the opening scene. From the types of uniforms that they were all very unique to each family member. At the beginning, there's two older sons, Gaku and Haru. There's Shoichi, who is the father, Yoko, who is the mother, and then there's Nagi, who is the daughter of the family. So they're on a mission. The episode starts where they're on a mission trying to recover someone and save them. And it ends into this big, huge battle on this container ship. So, but yeah, they go into the different types of uniforms that they have and to the house that they had built for the series, even the fighting and the training for the fighting. Kento points out that the house was traditionally built at the Toho studio. They made it to where it was potentially livable. I mean, the family got a chance to be a family in that house. And they each also went through some extensive training, from learning jumps and flips, from parkour to using weaponry. Each family had to put in their time. The young woman that played Nagi didn't know a lick of any sort of combat techniques or training whatsoever have you. And as we go along, you see that she really cut her teeth in this series. So they did have some practical effects in the fact that a lot of the actors and actresses were doing a majority of their fight choreography and their stunts. So it's pretty impressive to see that and to see that they were very dedicated to really making it them doing these scenes. So, but as we go along, we see, like in the early part of the episode, the family members are trying to have a regular life after tragedy has struck them and this big battle that they had at the beginning. But we do start to see each of them either becoming complacent with their normal activities and apply their shinobi skills to their normal job, or we start to see each family member struggle with being normal. The ladies in the family don't want to be normal, and they're constantly doing things to keep their skill set up. Yoko, who is the mother of the family and my favorite character, she makes me laugh. She's stealing spices from the local grocery store and building up a collection in the house, while Nagi, the daughter, she performs catch and release capers with artifacts from museums to toy with the police and leaving notes with the promise to return the items that she's taken a few days later. So the women, and there's even a grandmother there. The grandmother also cracks me up. She's a more laid back one of the whole family. But the women really, you know, they scoff at being normal. They don't want that part. So, whereas the men have a different issue to deal with themselves. So, and we'll go on to that in the next part of the segment here. So, on to the next thing. So, with Shoichi Tawara, who is the patriarch of the family, he is trying to live a normal life. He runs a sake brewery, and it was set to be where his oldest son was going to take over, and that was supposed to be Gaku. Gaku is now gone, and so now it falls on the next son, which would be Haru. Haru doesn't want anything to do with the brewery. He says it's a lie, you know, it's a cover for what they really do. Haru doesn't want to do any more shinobi work either. He just wants to be left alone because, you know, there was some tragedy that was partly due to a mistake that he made. So, but we also meet a group called the Bureau of Ninja Affairs, which is a secret agency that brings jobs to the shinobi and hires them out. Secret jobs that, you know, law enforcement are not able to do. And the Bureau is run by Jin Hamashima. Jin is a shrewd little man that tries to impose his command presence on the Tawara family. He does that early on with Shoichi in one scene, and Shoichi is just like, shows him who really has the power and kind of tells him to stay in his own lane and his own respect. As the episode progresses, we see the backstory of why Haru, the middle son, does not want to fill the shoes of his brother Gaku, who we see gets killed at the very beginning of the episode. And we start to see more of the story build and create an ending to the first episode that does make you want to finish the series. I felt like it caught me. I was like, all right, you know, at the end of the first episode, I was like, you got me. I was really impressed with it. I will leave it there at that. You know, for those of you that want to see it, head over to Netflix, give it a like, so we can hopefully see this get renewed for a second season. So, hopefully you will get out there and check it out. And if not, then I hope to have, you know, a night where we can meet on Zoom and possibly watch it together. Stay tuned for my final thoughts. Welcome back, folks. So, this is a brief episode. It wasn't the way I wanted it to be. I will be back next week with another episode of The Master, or I may finish out what I'm working on with my Ninja 3 retrospect. Trying to get everything mixed together. It's a one-man operation, but hopefully I can put together something that you'll all be happy with. I know that this is just kind of like a copy and paste type situation right now for this episode, but I definitely wanted to reach out to you guys and gals and let y'all know that I'm still here. My final thoughts for tonight is just wishing everyone to remember to have fun. We see a lot of movies and TV episodes or streaming episodes these days that have a narrative behind them. They're trying to push something that most of us that grew up and watched movies in the past, we never had to deal with that. You know, there's a lot of negative stuff that's coming out these days, and a lot of people that write and direct some of this crap aren't real writers. They're just people to try and push a narrative and create conflict. It's why you see a lot of us going back to our movies. It's why you see a lot of us that reflect back onto the 70s and 80s, because these are the movies and TV shows that molded us to the people that we become today. And we're all good people. Everybody that I've met that's loved the original Star Wars, or everybody that I've met that have grown up with these ninja movies, are really genuine people. And I love sitting down and having laughs with a few of you, and when y'all reach out to me or I reach out to you, I enjoy it on many, many levels, and it's good to meet all of you. But, you know, these days we have too many movies and TV out there where, you know, they don't sit down, they've never sat down in a movie theater or in front of a TV and just lost yourself for that duration of that showing. You know, I remember immersing myself in all these movies and TV shows that I grew up with, you know. We grew up during a great time where your imagination went wild, and you didn't have VR goggles or a game controller to imagine for you. A lot of people have lost that sense of imagination. A lot of people take stuff too seriously and trying to insert these things, you know, to try and infect people's minds with these negative vibes or these narratives. Have fun, people. Enjoy your life. This is just me saying to you, just lose yourself in your favorite movies and TV and enjoy your life. Have fun. Go out if you want to, enjoy your sunsets together. Go out and hang out with your best friends or reach out to them. Spend time with your animals. I do with mine all the time. They're waiting for me to get done here so we can go and watch the sunset together. That's kind of my Zen moments. I love what I do at the end of the night, which is spending my time with these 3 rescues of mine and just enjoying the sun going down, you know. I have fun doing this. I really do. The moment it becomes unfun would be the last time I sign off for good. I was gone for a little over a month. There's my little girl right there. Apple in my eye. Anyway, I was gone for a little while due to health reasons, due to some other stuff and dealing with some negative stuff. I'm back. I'm still here. Still going strong. Just dealing with stuff. But, you know, it is what it is. Builds on your character. Learn to adapt and overcome. And that's all I'm doing. So with that, everybody, have fun. Let's meet up soon on Zoom. Watch some movies together if you want. And, yeah. Stay tuned for more episodes of That Ninja Show. On that note, Shinobi1, signing off. Take care, my friends. Thank you for your time.